Thank you for turning to page 121. Today we're going to jump into our old friend, Unearthed Arcana. You know, the new AD&D book, as we call it. And we're going to take a look at the Gem of Insight. This is an item I've only given out a couple of times. It's not all that powerful, except it's really powerful. So, I'll explain. The jewel appears to be nothing more than a well-cut stone of not less than 5,000 gold piece value. If magic is detected for, the gem will radiate a faint aura of enchantment. If any character possesses the item, he or she will begin to feel its power after keeping the gem in his or her person for 1 week. At the end of 2 weeks, the individual will discover that he or she is able to recall things more easily, have better insight, memory, recall, etc. In fact, possession of the gem on a continuing basis, 3 months or more, raises the intelligence and the wisdom of the character by 1 point each. If for any reason the gem is not kept beyond the 3-month period or longer, the additional intelligence remains, but the 1 point of additional wisdom is lost. Any one such gem will function but once every 50 years. If a character possesses a second gem after benefiting from one already, the second item will not increase either wisdom or intelligence, even if the wisdom was not permanently affected by the first gem. It doesn't seem like much until you actually start thinking about it. First, it looks like a 5,000 gold piece gem. I had actually had a player who didn't bother getting anything checked and sold it for the 5,000. I gave him a little bit less because of the local market. And he actually sold this item, and I told him afterward, hey, by the way, that was a Gem of Insight, but you didn't bother checking around. So he was a little mad at himself for that. He wasn't particularly mad at me about it. If the character possesses it, you start feeling smarter and wiser after a week, and I will hint that to the player characters. I will tell the one character at the start of each game, hey, you feel a little smarter than you did. You're remembering this, and you remember where you left your retainer in 3rd grade and that kind of stuff. And at the end of the 2 weeks, you'll be able to understand things more easily, have better insight, memory, recall. So if they're reading something like a new magic spell, I would have them learn it a little bit easier. If it's a thief learning a new skill, I would have him learn the skill a little faster. And then possession of the gem for 3 months or more raise the intelligence and wisdom by 1 point each. Now, that's only important if you have a spellcaster of some kind. Intelligence and wisdom would be nice on a thief or a fighter, but it's not really going to do much. But on a magic user at my table, it can give you extra spells, just as wisdom does for clerics. So those combined, I gave one time to a fighter magic user cleric that we had at our table. He was struggling to stay interested in the character because his progress was so slow. So I went ahead and I bumped his stats up a little bit with this item, +1 intelligence, +1 wisdom, which got him around a 16 in each, something right in that neighborhood. So he got bonus spells and he got excited about the character again. He stayed with our campaign for years. He eventually left around the time my wife and I got married, but he was with the campaign for a long time. So the Gem of Insight seems like not much of anything, but when you think about the bonus of gaining an intelligence point and a wisdom point, that's pretty darn important. The other thing is the gem only working once every 50 years. The important thing there is so the players can't pass around the party and everybody hold it for 3 months and gain a point of intelligence and wisdom. And I enforce that. I think that's actually a very nice rule. And then the other end of it is once the magic item is done and it's increased you and won't work for 50 years, you can still sell it for the 5,000 gold pieces if you so choose. The character that I had, the player that I had running it, was very much into his history and his family. So what he did after the 3 months, so no harm would come to it, after about 6 months, he wanted to be sure everything was good. He took it and put it in the family vault and held it for future generations with notes on how it would work and what it would do and everything, and when it would be effective again. I thought that was pretty good. I gave him some experience points for role-playing for his future generations through a magic item, and it was something I hadn't really considered. So I thought that was a pretty nice touch. So there you have it, the Gem of Insight. I like this item. I've given out a few. It's not a common one for me, but I have given them out. And it is worth, Gem of Insight is worth 3,000 experience points when gained. So not too bad. 3,000 experience points and potentially 2 stats raised by 1 each. So not bad at all, depending on your character class. Some characters don't care, others are really excited. It all depends on what you're playing and how your table works. But that's all I've got today on page 121. I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you've given this item out before and if it's caused any problems at your table. And that's it. Please remember the Patreon. Take a look there, like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time on page 121.